Hello, beautiful women. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly why the tactics and techniques out there to try get the guy are doomed to fail and what actually works. So in the first part of this video, I'm going to start by explaining to you exactly why most techniques out there do not work if you want to be in a long-term committed relationship. Then I'm going to share with you an approach that I have learned that is proven to work and walk you through step by step of that approach. And at the end of this video, I'll invite you to a very special offer. But my commitment to you here is to provide value. So even if at the end of this video you decide not to join this program, you have learned something really important and really valuable when it comes to attracting the relationship that is aligned with your desires. But before I start, you must be asking, who the hell are you and how do you know what works and what doesn't work? If I haven't met you yet, my name is Laila Sena and I am an embodiment mentor. I've been studying the social behavior and subtle energetic body for over 15 years. But the most important thing is that the reason that I know what it works and what it doesn't work is by my personal experience. Yes, I have tried a bunch of techniques out there of trying to get the guy in the past. And as much as they did work in some level, in short-term relationships, they would actually never get me to a long-term relationship. It was only when I started practicing what I'm about to share with you today that everything changed. And I started becoming more magnetic and attracting men who actually were interested in having a more committed relationship. Since then, I've been teaching my friends and clients how to do the same. To give you a little bit of an idea of the power of this practice, I'm going to share with you a very personal story. I was in a relationship for 7 years with a gorgeous man. We were really good together until we weren't. I started to feel that we were no longer aligned, and even though I still deeply loved him, I decided to end things. So now you think, okay, heartbreaks, it takes some time to heal. She might have taken maybe years to find her next partner, or at least months, right? No. Well, the thing is, I already had gained knowledge of these magnetic practices that I'm about to share with you. And I was practicing this while I was in a relationship with that last partner. Because this approach is more of a way of being. It's not something that you need to do just to attract a guy. I'll share more later in the video with you. So, within a month after the breakup, I had another gorgeous man telling me he wanted to be in a committed relationship. He even flew across the globe to come to Australia, and he said that he would move in together with me and move countries. He wanted to be with me in a committed relationship, and all this took place in 1 month. I know, it's pretty crazy, right? He was a really beautiful man, which I deeply fell in love with at the time. But to be honest, I wasn't really ready to commit to another long-term relationship yet. So I decided to end things and took some time, 6 months to be exact, just to travel the world and enjoy myself. It was only when I got to my final destination before returning home, which is Australia, I decided that when I arrived back home, I would like to find someone to share life together. And I had a very clear idea and picture of what this man would look like. So now I imagine you're probably thinking, okay, she got that last guy in 1 month last time, but it was probably a coincidence, or maybe it was just good luck, and this cannot happen again, right? Wrong. When I got back home, it took me 1 week to meet my next partner. I know, it's pretty crazy. Not many people believe in it, but it literally took 1 week. That is almost unheard of, right? People spend years to find the one, and I found my partner in 1 week. How? Listen up and I'm going to share the secrets with you. But before that, let me explain the reason why I don't use these strategies and techniques that are out there to try get the guy. And you probably know this, but there is a ton of advice out there that say things like, you shouldn't sleep with the guy within the first 10 days, or you really shouldn't tell him about your feelings, or maybe that you need to pretend not to be interested. And the list goes on and on and on. So let me explain why I think in the long run, these are all doomed to fail. Let's start with the basics. So number one is the prize. When you use these techniques, we are automatically implying that the guy is the golden prize. Subconsciously, you are putting out there to the universe that you are not enough as you are, and that he is of higher value than you. And in order to achieve that goal or to be in a relationship with the man, you have to work your ass off. See how this approach already starts us in the wrong foot. In my opinion, this is not a good approach. Putting the guy as a higher value than we are is doomed to fail. So let's go to number two, authenticity. Well, one of my biggest values is authenticity. I believe in being honest and truthful, and this is actually something I deeply respect and I find important to have in every relationship in my life. I don't know, but I'm guessing you're probably nodding your head and saying, yes, you may deeply agree with me right now. So imagine if you meet this amazing guy who does all the right things and treats you well, and then after a few weeks, he completely changes. And you learn that he was just using a bunch of tricks and techniques to try to get you instead of showing his true self. Well, in some way, that's exactly what you would be doing. And if you are doing this to him, you automatically make it okay for him to do it to you. If you would like to be in a relationship where the man speaks their truth, he will not try to manipulate you or be sneaky, maybe then it's a good time to start doing the same. So being true and honest is the way to go. And if you are saying, yeah, I've tried this, but it did not work, well, stick to the end and you understand exactly why it did not work. So in conclusion, if you are looking into building an honest relationship based on truth and love, using some of the strategies and techniques out there are not in your favor. Let's move now to number three. These techniques are a trap. Well, let's say that all these strategies work and you finally got the guy interested. Now you are trapped. Yeah, you heard me right. If you use all these strategies to the guy that you're interested, what do you think will happen when you start just being yourself? You will be trapped. You would have two options from here. So number one, you would continue to use strategies for the rest of your life and completely forget what's like just to relax and be yourself. To be honest, that feels to me really exhausting. Or let's say you go with number two. You stop using these tactics, start being yourself, and realizes that the guy was only interested in you because you were applying all these strategies. So now you have just lost years of your precious time doing a bunch of strategies to get someone interested in a version of you that does not even exist. I hope you're starting to see here how all these strategies are doomed to fail and how that is not in your best interest when it comes to a long-term relationship. Can they work? Yes, of course they can work, mostly in short-term relationships. But if you use this to build a long-term relationship, you're going to be building a very weak foundation, in which case it will most probably crumble, making you lose your time and your energy. And if you're like me, you value your time and energy, and that's something that you do not want to lose. So now that you know all this, you are probably wondering, well, if using all these strategies and techniques is not the answer, what is? I am super excited to share with you something different, a very holistic and embodied approach, one that is actually going to support you in getting deeper alignment with yourself, not the opposite, not to be fake or do something that doesn't align with your vibration. So, before I explain this approach in detail, let me just take a moment to illustrate, to create a picture for you. So let's say you start to see a guy, everything is going well, you are going on dates, he's showing a lot of interest, and as soon as you start to have feelings for him, he goes cold. Maybe you come to that awkward conversation where he says he's not ready for a relationship. Maybe he say things like, oh, this is going too fast, or even worse, maybe he even disappears and completely ghosts you. And you start to wonder, what the hell happened? Everything was going great and now he disappears. Let me explain this situation to you from a completely different perspective, considering your energetic body and your energetic field. For a lot of women, when they start an interaction with a man, they might start aligned with their inner power and truly connected with their energetic center. But as soon as they recognize the guy as a potential partner, part of the energetic body has a huge shift in coming into misalignment. So before, they were this sexy, radiating woman, having that glowing power from inside out, which, by the way, is, of course, extremely attractive. And now that they get frightened by losing their potential partner, they become anxiously reactive. That shift can be very obvious with such things as like sending a lot of text messages or being more anxious when they get together. Or it can be extremely subtle, just like a shift in the atmosphere when the two of them are together. But when that shift happens, their inner glow dims and the vibration becomes misaligned. That starts to repel the same man that was before really attracted to them. Look, to be honest, sometimes the guy doesn't even know exactly what's happening. He might say to his friend something like, man, I just don't know, I'm not that into her anymore. Or maybe he will say something like, well, she just wanted to be in a relationship and I'm not ready for it. The fact is that what happened most likely had nothing to do with the guy wanting a relationship or not. It actually had something to do with what happened energetically between them and inside of her. We all know that guy that was never the serious type. He was always seeing lots of women. He was totally uncommitted to all of them until the day he meets that specific woman. And when he meets her, everything changes. He starts to act differently. He changes the way how he treats her and he treats women. And there's a chance that he even wants to really commit to her. So what happened there? Was it that the guy was all of a sudden just really ready to commit? Nope. It was that the woman that he interacted with was in deep alignment with herself. She did not meet the same patterns as the other women. She kept her power and inner glow through the course of the relationship. And of course, he could not resist but fall in love deeply with her. Where I'm getting to is, the secret that nobody has told us is not that a specific strategy to get the guy. The secret here is to realign our vibration so we don't have to dim our light or come out of our alignment when we are about to enter a relationship. And how do we do that? Well, I'm just about to share that with you. Before we go there, maybe you are now saying something like, oh, of course, this is possible for specific women that looks a specific way, but it's so much harder for me. Well, I'm going to challenge you in this belief now. Is that really true? I don't believe so. We all know someone that is extremely attractive, even though they don't look like your typical Hollywood type. Have you ever walked into a room and just noticed yourself feeling attracted to this guy that is not even your type? You might even think, What is it about that person that makes me feel so attracted to them? Is it the way that they walk? Is it the way that they smile? Is it their confidence? Or what is it? Well, do you want to know what it is? It's the actual inner glow. They know how to be magnetic by aligning their vibration to themselves, which is exactly what I'm just about to share with you. But let's say that now you are thinking that this is not the problem. Maybe you're thinking that the problem is that all the good men are taken. Well, this is actually a very popular belief, and I'm here to break this belief for you. The truth is, people are entering new relationships and ending new relationships every day. Doesn't matter at which age, and when a relationship finishes, it doesn't mean that the guy is not good enough. It just means that the couple were no longer in alignment. But what might be a misalignment for another couple can be a great alignment for you. Let's release this old belief that all the good men are taken. This is not true. There's a million of single men out there. There's plenty of fish in the sea. And lastly, let's let go of one more old belief here. The old belief is, I am not finding a partner because all the man wants is just sex. And just like women, men should be allowed to enjoy sex, yes. Hopefully, you will attract a man that loves sex too. But to say that men only wants to have sex is pretty much the same to say that all women just want to be housewives. The truth is, some do, some don't. And it would be crazy to say otherwise. Perhaps you've been attracting a lot of men that just want to have sex. Well, of course, you are here in this course today. There's a chance that this is you. And the reason why you're watching this training now is because you want to change something in your love life. So yeah, maybe you have been attracting these men up until now because you are currently not aligned with the vibration you are calling in. Instead, you align with the vibration of men that just want to have sex. And that's totally okay because what we're working here is to change that vibration now. So my point here is that if I could find a man that was interested in a relationship and thousands of women out there have done the same, so can you. You can do it too. Now that we've already destroyed some old beliefs, we are ready to talk about what's really important here. How the heck do I start attracting the relationship I want? In order to attract the relationship you desire, you need to work on aligning your frequency with the things that you want. And look, this is not a woo-woo practice. There is actually a step-by-step sequence that I use with embodiment practices to support that deeper alignment to take place. So let's talk about these steps or this sequence, which of course, if you decide to join the She's Magnetic program, you will be learning through embodiment practices and easy to follow lessons. But for now, I'll give away the outline of the process. Number one, the foundations. The foundation is about gaining the understanding of what are the loops that are happening in our love life and getting clear about why they are taking place. The aim is to learn all the basics when it comes to recognizing loops and dealing with our physical and energetic body in a way that will enable us to make better choices and to no longer repeat our old patterns. Number two, we talk about the emotional body. So this is about learning how to ground ourselves and come back into inner alignment when emotions come to surface. We explore the emotional layers that have been working against our love life and practice techniques to rebalance our emotional field so you can feel more confident and start attracting instead of repelling your dream relationship. Number three, it's boundaries. So clarifying and understanding what our boundaries are will support us to enter interactions that are more aligned with our deepest desires, and it will also bring more safety in our life to explore and have fun, allowing ourselves to feel fully loved. Number 4, it's about priorities. Priorities is a huge piece here to keep the inner glow and vibrational alignment. Once you understand the principles of how and what to prioritize, you will learn how to change the relationship with others and yourself forever. And guess what this will create? A ripple effect in everyone around you. Not only the way how you see yourself will change, but most naturally, the way how you see others will change too. Number 5 is about clearing the past. So, many of us are trying to move forward without actually letting go of the past. Maybe in some way you are still attached, consciously or unconsciously, to an old relationship. And because of that, you will not be able to open your heart to anybody else without carrying that same energetic level or trauma from your past relationship. And this is why it's so important to really work in the healing and releasing the past, so we can really invite the new relationship of our dreams into our lives. We can really make it into our reality. And number 6, the final key. This is the final and most important element. In order for you to understand this, you actually need to have done the first 5 pieces, the first 5 elements. But of course, if you choose to come to the program, I will share this last element with you. That will be the glue to make everything else work in perfect harmony, so you can start to become more magnetic. This final key will support you manifesting the relationship of your dreams, and so you can enjoy cuddles at night and compliments from your man, and you can have a partner that will love you and respect you deeply. Now that I have shared all this knowledge with you, let's just take a sigh of relief, because you don't have to watch another YouTube video talking about strategies on how to get the guy. Now, you've made this far into the video, and the chances are you are either in one of these 2 positions. Number 1, you were really excited and motivated to start your journey, and you cannot wait to start the process of changing your love life forever. And if that's you, great. Not even to mention that you haven't even heard the offer that I have for you yet. Once you hear that, I'm sure you're going to be even more excited. Now, the second situation that you might find yourself here is that you will say, okay, I understand that this process works, but this process will not work for me. You may think that it's going to be too complicated, or that you're not confident enough, or that it's going to take too long, and maybe that you don't even have the skills that it's needed. I have to say that I understand where you're coming from. But if there is just one thing that I want you to get out of this video, is that anyone can do this. I'm going to guide you step by step along the way through easy to follow lessons and embodiment exercises that will be working in your favor to bring you back into a deeper alignment with yourself, so you can start becoming more magnetic. And you know how I know you can do this? Because this training is designed for you to come back to yourself, so you can let your unique light to be seen. It's not a generic technique that will try to make you into somebody else. Quite the opposite. It will clear the dust away, remove any anxiety when dealing with relationships, and allow you to reconnect with your truest essence, so you can start to attract that dream partner. And to be honest, I believe that if you watch this far, it is because you are ready to make this step. You are ready to let go of trying to be someone else, and you are ready to start receiving more love, more connection, more joy. You are ready to share your life with someone that deserves you and that wants to be with you. If I did this and I was able to attract the man I desire to be in a relationship with, so can you. So, long story short, if you find yourself in the second situation, just know that you can do this, and I'm going to support you along the way. Right now, just like so many points in a person's life, you are faced with a choice. You can continue to try to sort this out by yourself spend hours watching a bunch of tutorials on YouTube, and have dozen more dates that keeps bringing that same type of man back into your life. And to be honest, look, these can totally work, but might take some time, some years, some months, who knows, to finally get the relationship that you desire. Or you can take advantage of this step-by-step program I have created for you and jump into this opportunity to realign your vibration so you can finally attract your dream partner and be in a relationship where you feel deeply loved and appreciated. Not even to mention that you will feel the ripple effect in every area of your life. Because here we are actually working with your inner essence to strengthen that natural ability to become magnetic. Check out all the information below about the offers and bonuses and click in the link below and register today. I'm excited to see you inside.